This is something that I've wrestled with probably all of my working years, what to do with my taxes if I really believe in a conscientious objector to war. Then how can I continue to pay taxes and support the military machine?
Jim Schmidt works for the city of Heston, Kansas. His wife Diana is a school bus driver and nursing assistant. Neither is a professional lobbyist, but they've come to Washington, D.C. to meet with their elected representatives to advocate passage of legislation that's important to them, the Religious Freedom Peace Tax Fund Act.
This is a good alternative for me as a United States citizen to still pay my taxes and feel good about where the money is being used.
If there's one fundamental principle upon which the United States of America was founded, it's religious freedom. History books tell us that was a primary reason why at first Europeans and later others decided to come here, for the chance to express their beliefs without being persecuted for being different. Among the beliefs the government has respected through the years is the belief that killing another human being, even in war, is wrong. That's a founding belief of Christians who are members of the Mennonite churches, the Church of the Brethren, and the Religious Society of Friends, or Quakers. Beginning with World War II, the government has permitted people who felt that way to serve their country in non-military ways, building roads, fighting forest fires, serving as medical guinea pigs for scientific experiments. Eventually, others who could establish a moral or ethical rationale for opposing war in any form were also declared conscientious objectors and allowed to perform alternatives to military service. But many who hold those beliefs find it difficult to help pay for something their conscience forbids.
If it's wrong to kill people, then how can we pay for others to do it in our name?
So for more than 35 years, an effort has been underway in Washington to allow those who are conscientiously opposed to killing other people to divert the money they pay in taxes away from the military.
There would be a fund established within the federal treasury that would accept the money of designated or verified conscientious objectors to all wars. And they would get a receipt from the federal treasury, which they would attach along with their income tax forms when they send their taxes in. Then all of their taxes would go into this federal special trust fund, which would then be allocated out to whichever government programs needed it, with the exception of things with a designated military purpose, such as Department of Defense.
It's a move that the government's own analysts in the Joint Taxation Committee have concluded would actually increase the amount of tax money handed over to the IRS.
They confirmed that it would be a revenue raiser because of the lack of prosecution costs the IRS has to do, and also that you've got people earning up to what their potential is, that they're one of the sacrifices that people make is that they will live at a very frugal level in order to avoid paying taxes.
The national campaign to get this idea through Congress has been ongoing since the early 1970s. And while not the kind of legislation that attracts a lot of media attention, it has the backing of some influential lawmakers.
I think it is the American way to respect the conscience, the conviction, the moral conviction, the religious conviction of others. That is very much in keeping with what this country is all about.
This bill is really a win-win proposal that allows people to follow their conscience and their faith. At the same time, it should increase our tax revenue and relieve the IRS from having to pursue conscientious objectors. You know, our country's got a long history of recognizing conscientious objection and accepting alternative service. And I think the peace tax bill is in the best spirit of this tradition.
While there may not be a whole lot of Baptists who are pacifists or who object to paying their taxes for the prosecution of military ventures, you know, we understand that does burden some people's conscience, and we're ready to stand up for them all the more because we understand that if anybody's religious freedom is denied, then everyone's is threatened.
Individuals who choose this option don't gain anything financially. They still need to pay every penny of their taxes.
Helping to inform Congress about the issue is a year-round effort for some. For others, it means trips to Washington to share the need for this proposal with legislators. The Schmidts brought with them handwritten letters from others in Kansas asking for passage of this bill, aware that many legislative staffers, while well-versed in matters of conscience, are often hearing about this bill for the first time. Advocates of this bill, such as former Washington Post columnist and current law school professor Coleman McCarthy, say acceptance of the idea is a long-term process.
We're not called on to be successful. We're called on to be faithful. And that's what the Peace Tax Fund is about.
In the U.S., the bill has been introduced each year since the early 70s, and a hearing was held in 1992 with expressions of support from a wide range of perspectives.
We have to remember that the way to defeat those who would undermine democracy and our freedoms is to hold fast to our core principles, and this is one principle that needs to be protected.
If you would like to help protect this principle, contact the National Campaign for a Peace Tax Fund. Learn how to help make the Religious Freedom Peace Tax Fund become law.